Hi, and welcome back. Now that we have a good understanding of the competing values framework, let's map the Agile Manifesto from 2001 to the different quadrants in the competing values framework. Let's start out with the very first sentence. Individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Where would you map processes and tools? Take a moment, think about it, and then continue this video. Yes, processes and tools is very much a characteristic of control organizations. Whereas, on the other hand, individuals and interactions is much rather either collaborate or create. Let's look at the second sentence. Working product or working software over comprehensive documentation. Where would you map comprehensive documentation? Again, take a moment, pause the video, and then continue once you've made a decision. Similar to processes and tools, a comprehensive documentation is a characteristic of a control organization. Why? Because through documenting everything in detail, you get a sense of control. Although, as we have learned, this doesn't necessarily mean that the comprehensive documentation is correct, it still gives you the perception of control. On the other hand, a working product or working software is a clear characteristic of a create organization. Because in those organizations, you build stuff, you make things accessible to your customers. Next up, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Again, take a few moments and think about it. Where would you map contract negotiation? Now you can see the pattern. Contract negotiation, similar to the previous two, is very much a characteristic of a control organization. Why? Any contract gives you, again, a sense of control. On the other hand, customer collaboration is something that organizations do that look to the outside, that look externally, that frequently collaborate with their customers. So create or maybe compete organizations would have that characteristic. And finally, responding to change over following a plan. We don't even have to take a moment to think about it. Following a plan or any type of long-term plan, again, gives you the sense of control. Whereas responding to change is very much a characteristic of create organizations. To summarize, if you look at the Agile Manifesto, it's basically a shift or a move from very much control characteristics like a plan or a contract or a comprehensive documentation towards more and more create characteristics within organizations. And that is, of course, based on the frequent or the fast pace of change that we have been seeing in the past 20, 25, maybe 30 years in the world of business. This is the final video of this section covering the competing values framework. In our next section, we will look at levers one can pull to change an organization's culture. See you there.